Hey everybody, it's Jonathan Scroggs. I'm so sorry. I'm exhausted. I'm tired. I have had to remake this video 4 or 5 times now because I've got so much information, but I gotta try to make it as short as I can. I've got to first start and jump through their hoops. This is just for entertainment purposes only. This could all be fairy tale make-believe made up all for fun. I'm not a doctor. Not giving medical advice. Not sponsored, not paid to do this. This is all just for fun. Even with that, my last 2 warning videos that I posted have been stripped off the internet forever. Called misinformation. Because I was bragging about supplements, vitamins, the way God intended our bodies to heal, with zinc and quercetin, vitamin D3 and K2 together. Because I just learned about the D3 with K2, and I was so excited I wanted to share it with people. But they marked it as misinformation, even though it was not. So, let's just pretend all this is for fun. It's make-believe, it's fairy tale, it's all great for fun. Side note, now that we live in a country where the government legally can force propaganda down our throats, they can literally hijack every news station, every social media site that they can get their hands on. Thank God there's still one from another country that they can't get their hands all the way on, but they're getting into it a little bit. I digress. But in a country where they can force propaganda on us, but now we are getting stripped of our rights and our freedoms of speech because it's going against a nefarious agenda. Because there is a group of people who wish you and I harm, who have gone to great lengths to plan huge, long-term plans for our demise. So let's just say make-believe time, all for fun. Just for fun. Please read between the lines. Please pray over what I'm about to tell you. Once upon a time, there was this group of people who wanted to rule the world, who felt like they were above everyone and had the right to control and lord and dominate over everyone. So what if on this day that's approaching here in a few days, where the whole, what if the very people who have been announcing for 5 years now that the next pandemic was coming in 2025. What if that very group of people that kept saying, oh, the next one, will we be ready for the next one by the time the next one hits? Over and over and over. If you don't believe me, go check it out. What if those people have made a plan on that day of the, if you look and check out the charts that they show a picture, the image of all of the reservations for the Airbnbs, the hotels, motels, campgrounds, RV spots. They show a map of all the reservations during the eclipse and all along that path right across our country. It's just hundreds and thousands and hundreds and thousands and hundreds of thousands all the way along of people who are taking off work, taking the kids out of school. Of course, half the country's schools are being canceled for some strange reason. Somebody get back to me about that. Maybe you can also tell me why their schools were closed for Maui too, when all of a sudden that tragedy hit. Where are the children? Be careful, Jonathan. They'll take this one down too. So, what if, well, all these hundreds of thousands of people who have already been told that there's going to be another pandemic come the year of the election, what if they all gather and they all are there to watch the whole, and they've got their eye protection because they're going to stare up at a big old ball of light, a big old ball of fire. So they're going to protect their eyes while they're looking up with their mouths open, their ears straight highways, straight to your throat for infectious, contagious illnesses can be contracted through the ears, which most people don't know. That's why it's good to soak your ears 10 minutes aside with H2O. Let that one hit. So as these people are gazing up, what if the nefarious group has ordered 3 sets of planes to fly the path? First one you might not see, it's going to be way up. And as it goes down the path, just going to shower down some goodness on everybody. But it's so high that it will disperse and become atomized and air particles to breathe. The second wave is going to be much lower. You'll be able to see those. As the third set, what if they were so cocky on that third set? What if they were so cocky that they just come out and told y'all, we're going to fly 2 planes and we're going to follow that big old shadow ball so we can gather information for science. You believe in science, don't you? Everybody believes in science. So just for science, we're going to 2 planes while everybody's, oh, look. And at the same time, another government-funded organization that loves to look at the stars, that loves propaganda as well, they're going to fire 3 missiles right into the sun, or the shadow of the sun, because they're wanting to gather information for science of dark matter, of what is this universe made of, where did everything come from, what powers all the blah blah blah. So 3 missiles are being fired into the eclipse while hundreds of thousands of people stand below, and 3 different sets of planes are flying that pathway, distributing goodness. And I joke, by the way, completely joke, because there's no goodness coming out of them at all. So, what if all those folks enjoyed their time, they're out, ignored all the warnings that all across the country, states are saying stock up on food, stock up on fuel, plan on possibly being out of power because the power grid might come down. All these people are ignoring all those warnings that make no sense. Schools are being shut down for the day of the eclipse. In my day, we would have all been brought out of the classrooms, into the parking lots, into the playground, and we would have been passed out the little 3D glasses to use the eclipse as an educational teaching platform. But this time, it's different. This time, schools are being canceled like they were in Maui. So, not a lot of sense to be made of it unless you just love the make-believe land where this could be the next nefarious plan of an outbreak. So in a make-believe way, as all these people, they come home from their fun time of watching the whoosh, and saw and they come home and they go back to school and they go back to work and they go back to their families, and these little things of goodness that might have been showered onto everybody now are coming home back to the people that stayed safe, that stayed inside during that whole situation. But now those particles, those little things are being brought back to share. Kind of like what happened in 2020 when things were just shared with everybody, just kind of passed around. I'm going to end with reminding everybody that God is still on the throne. And no matter how many evil, nefarious plans are made against God's people, I've read the book from front to back more than once. And I can promise y'all, I know who wins. It doesn't matter how many times I reread it or how many different versions I read. I know who wins every time. God wins. The same way he won against Nimrod when he tried to equal God and build the Tower of Babel. And he tried to mock God and play God because he felt like he was equal to him. And this same group of people, make-believe time, same group of people, if you go and look up the opening ceremony of the Commonwealth Games, you'll see the same group of people built another Tower of Babel, depends on if you're British American or American English. Tower of Babel, they built it, brought it into the Commonwealth Games, and they all bowed down and worshipped this golden calf that the harlot was riding on. That happened as the King of England oversaw it all. It's something he sanctioned. Satanic emblems everywhere, goat-headed people dressed in costumes as Baphomet statues, which is the demon god of child sacrifice, by the way. Again, this is all make-believe. Till you look it up yourself and see that this is what they're doing. The same way God shook this earth in a violent way in the Tower of Babel, literally got to stop all construction, and the continents ripped apart from this great quaking. God divided the people, changed their languages, split them all up, humbled them down pretty quick. Let me just tell you, God's people, be ready for a great shaking. Be ready for a great humbling of a lot of people. But at the same time, I also want to tell you, in make-believe land, in all fun, God's way is always the only way. When evil people in make-believe land make biological sicknesses, they make sure that they cannot be treated with antibiotics. And think about that when they try to say, hey, we have the answer for you, and it's over here. From the very people that made it. They're not trying to help you. They're not trying to get you better. They're not trying to shower goodness down on you. So, I know it's going to be pulled anyway, but I'm hoping a few people could hear this before it gets yanked. Supplements, vitamins, healthy eating. Don't just trust that the sticker says it's organic, non-GMO, because it's legal for them to lie now. It's legal for them to hide chemicals in the food. Metal shavings are showing up in baby food and baby oatmeal. I watched the guy literally just take a super magnet over a bag of baby oatmeal in metal. Just start pulling out of it. It's unreal what's going on. Oh, it's unreal. Supplements, vitamins have changed my life as someone who lives with multiple autoimmune diseases. The biggest things that have changed my life that I can tell you since 2020 is H2O2, gargle with it, soak here, spray here, spray here. All make-believe land. Look up 1 Minute Miracle. It's on Amazon, it's on the internet. It's a book about H2O2, changing your life, healing everything, even things that rhymes with dancer. It's changing my life, I'm telling you. Vitamins like quercetin with zinc. Zinc can't hit the center of the cell of the infection or the bacteria without quercetin. Quercetin used to be in our organic vegetables. It's no longer there, so we're deficient. Quercetin with zinc. Vitamin D3 with K2. Vitamin C, vitamin B complex, turmeric, ginger. There's a lot of amazing things that will change your life, but it's God's way. Going from make-believe land, where they want to give you chemicals and they want to harm you and then addict you to hook you and have your money. That's all make-believe. Just having fun here. But God's way is healing and hope. God's plan for your life is for you to not suffer or be harmed, but for you to prosper. So, sorry, my dog's down underneath me just going after a bone, so I know that's annoying. But God's way is best. Kick on his music. Open up his word. And I promise you, on that day of the whoosh, my wife and I, we're going to be worshiping. We're going to be praying. I may even be fasting. God's people, be safe. Please read through the lines of what I'm sharing today and kind of try to see what I'm talking about. Because I have to do it in this way or they'll be deleted again. Even when I jump through their hoops, they still keep deleting my warning videos. But when God gives me a warning and he asks me to share it, I need to share it. And we're running out of avenues where we can do that. I love y'all. If you don't already follow us on Facebook, that's where right now we're doing most of our ministry. But we also have Jonathan Scroggs Music at YouTube, which is JohnAthanScroggs Music at YouTube. And then the best place to get tapped in is to join our ministry page on Facebook, The Remnant Rising. There's a picture of the statue of Jesus from the Great Passion Play in Eureka Springs, Arkansas. And a person underneath it says, "Let them see you in me." So that's our page. That's where we can share the most truth. And I can actually talk more openly there. So please go to Facebook, join our group, stay hooked up. If you already know these things, please don't be scared to sound crazy and tell your family, tell your friends, tell your church. If you've got a pastor that's completely naive and doesn't believe, don't get mad at him. He's got a pure heart. He can't, just like my mama, she couldn't imagine anybody ever plotting or planning to make people sick or to hurt people. Mama couldn't have ever dreamed of these things being real in America. So don't get upset when people won't listen to anything you say. Just keep loving them. Keep telling them. Pray about what I'm saying. Because the Holy Spirit will then take those seeds that you planted and will wake them up in the middle of the night and tell them they were telling you the truth. And that's how God will move, will work. But we've got to keep being obedient so that we can keep sharing, even though people think I ought to wrap my cowboy hat in tinfoil. It probably looked pretty cool. But we're living in a day where we can't believe what we're being told on the news, on the internet. There's entire groups of fact checkers paid to force more propaganda down your throat. There's only one source of truth, and that is our Father in heaven, our Creator. And we can tap into His truth by being filled with His Holy Spirit. The power of His Holy Spirit, same power that raised Jesus from the dead, can quicken this mortal body. And when you have the Spirit of God in you, discernment kicks in on everything. News channel trying to talk, your gut will be like, that's not right. They'll start saying things about closing schools, stock up on food, 2 weeks. You might be out of power for 2 weeks because of an eclipse. More than discernment ought to kick in on that. Common sense ought to kick in and be like, somebody's up to something huge in make-believe land. All fun. I love y'all. Seriously. It's getting harder and harder to share the truth. So please, when you see a video, especially from somebody like me, I'm embarrassed and humiliated constantly by people I love and respect. But I gotta be obedient. When God tells me to look stupid again, I'm gonna look stupid again. I love y'all, and I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Be safe. Be prayed up. Anoint your homes, anoint your kids. Pray over your family. Pray that hedge of protection will cover them just like the blood of the Lamb that was applied over the doorposts during the plagues of Egypt. And as those plagues passed over, they saw the blood of the Lamb on the door of the house, but now of this house. And it passes over. No matter how you believe, whether you're pre-millennial, post-millennial, pan-millennial, no matter what denomination background you're from, no matter how you think the end of time is going to play out, I'm telling you, we need to stop arguing about how it's going to happen and start spending more time getting more people to have their eyes open, to giving their lives to Jesus. Because our time is short. I love y'all. Keep spreading God's love.